Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to show you step by step how to start a baking blog. So be sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell if this video or any other video on this channel helps you out. So basically what we're going to do today is I'm going to show you and tell you exactly what a baking blog is. I'm going to show you and tell you why you need to pick a niche and how to niche down so that you can grow faster. After that, I'm going to show you and tell you about web hosting and how to get a domain name for free. Hint, hint, click the first link in the description to get up and running. But I'm going to tell you a little bit more about getting a domain name and web hosting and why that's important. After that, I'm going to show you step by step how to set up, install WordPress, get your WordPress theme. I'm going to actually show you how to get a premium WordPress theme so that it looks a little bit better, and important changes that you absolutely need to make so that your website can get discovered. If you don't make these changes, your website will not be found and you will struggle. After that, I'm going to show you how and the best way to start writing, and we are going to talk about different ways to make money and why you should start sharing your baking blog on social media in the very beginning, about how many blog posts you need to write, and then definitely why you should check out the links in the description. So let's go ahead and get into it. What is a baking blog? Now, as the name implies, you are simply going to answer questions and solve problems in the baking niche. Now, believe it or not, the baking niche is very large, and if you don't do this correctly, you are going to struggle. And so let me just illustrate this by taking a look at a keyword research tool that I use. If you just type in baking, you can see that the keyword difficulty on a scale of 0 to 100 is 65, which is fairly difficult. So you're going to have a tough time just creating content and getting discovered organically. So if we look at this, these are some of the matching terms. If you just look up baking, now green means it's not too difficult for a brand new blog or website. Orange means it's very difficult. As you can see, 78 means it's going to be kind of a challenge to start gaining traction. Some of the words on here, for example, baking chicken is 59, so you're going to have a little bit of a challenge. But if you niche down, for example, if you talk about holiday baking, you can see the keyword difficulty is only 14, so there's some opportunity there. If we look at the matching terms, you're going to see that there are a lot more green, so there's a lot more opportunity. There's 36,000 monthly searches and 5,000 keywords. So you have a lot to write about, and there's a lot of opportunity for you to go in and solve some problems in the holiday baking niche. So in the beginning, very important that you niche down. You talk to a very small audience. Believe it or not, that small audience is still thousands of people. If we look at this, 36,000 people, you talk to that audience and you solve problems. For example, how many sugar cookies should I make for the next Christmas party? Anyway, if we continue on, the next step, once you have your niche and you've niched down, is to get web hosting. And web hosting basically means you are going to rent or borrow hard drive space from a web hosting company. You are going to use that space to store your internet files. In this instance, we are going to use Bluehost because it's very easy, very user-friendly. When you click that first link in the description, you can get a domain name for free when you get web hosting. And web hosting is like $3.95 per month. But you need this in order for other people to see your website. So a domain name, if we look at this right here, the domain name for this website is called mybakingaddiction.com. You can also see that they have branched out into other aspects of cooking, but they're talking about lime coconut cake. You could actually probably do an entire niche on lime cake and different aspects, different ways to make it. But a good example of a baking blog is My Baking Addiction. If we click on baking here, you can see this is actually an ad, which we'll talk about in just a moment. You can see they have very basic processes and things. Types of sugar is something that people are going to be looking up, and they want to know the difference. I know that when I got into keto, there's keto sugar that I'd never even known about. Anyway, if we continue on, you can see this is their domain name, mybakingaddiction.com, and then this is some of the things that we write on, and we'll talk about this more in just a moment. But if we go back over to our slide deck here, you can see you're going to get web hosting with the first link in the description, and you'll get a domain name. In fact, I'm going to show you how to set everything up in 4 minutes. You're going to buy web hosting, you are going to install WordPress, and install a basic WordPress theme. When you click that link, you'll be taken to this website where you'll go ahead and click Get Started. What I recommend is to click the first one on the far left, the basic plan, if you're just getting started with a website. As you can see, there are a number of options, but click that, click select, and then move on. Here you're going to create a domain name. If you have one in mind, you can type it in here like you see that I do. what I recommend is try and find a domain name that's going to be related to your niche. Now, what I do is I type in a domain name that I know is already taken. When it's taken, you're going to get this error. What you can then do is go back and try different domains. Now, make sure, again, you want to pick one that's related to your niche. Click Next, and then you're going to see a green box that says that it's approved. The next step is simply to go through and enter in your contact information. Make sure that when you scroll down here, make sure that you leave all of the settings on. But again, enter in your contact information. The settings right here where it says domain privacy, leave all of this checked. If you don't leave it checked, you're going to get people reaching out to you, spamming you, emailing you, trying to get you to sign up for web hosting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and sign up and then jump back to you once I sign on and move to the next step. All right, so I've signed up and I'm going to go ahead and set up my website initially. Just create a simple username and password, make sure it meets the requirements there, and then move on. Make sure that you write it down too. Write it down in a safe spot so that you have it and you remember it, because it can be a pain to go ahead and get everything back. You're going to have to enter in like some vital information, but just make sure that you write it down. It's really easy and really simple. Now, one thing that I do want to note is that this part is not sped up at all. This is actual real time, and you can see that you'll go from absolutely nothing to a complete website in less than probably 10 minutes. And once you click submit, you're going to move on to the next step where you get to log in. Here is where you're actually going to start creating your WordPress website. Now, the great thing is Bluehost really does everything for you, and it's really simple. So again, I'm not speeding this up at all, and I want you to see what it really takes to create a website. Bluehost is going to do a little bit of work in the background for you, and we're just going to actually click on skip this step. This first one I clicked on start a blog, but for the next step, just click skip, because we know what we're doing, and I'm actually going to tell you what to do so that we can get up and running. Click get started right here on the left hand side, and then move on. Just click skip here and click skip here. And then just pick the first one on the far left. Make sure that you're picking a free theme, because they'll charge you. They have both free and premium themes, which I'll talk about in just a moment. So right now, it's actually creating your WordPress website. In just a few moments, you're going to click on log in to WordPress on the right hand side there. You'll see it in just a second. And then we can actually start looking at some basic configurations. All right, so we click log in, and now we actually have a WordPress website. What may need to happen is you may need to click refresh a few times to get it to work, but now we have our website, as you can see. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to log in and delete a few plugins, because right now it has the coming soon. And so if someone tried to get to your website at this moment, it's going to say coming soon to them, even though we can see it. This is what your WordPress website looks like, but for everyone else outside of your network, it's going to say coming soon. So what we're going to do is we're going to go down to plugins eventually, and we're going to delete some of the plugins that we don't need. Now, I talk a little bit about plugins later on, but plugins add additional features and functionality. We are going to deactivate the Bluehost as well as the other plugins that are already activated, and then we can go through and make the necessary changes, which I'll cover in just a moment. So we're going to deactivate them and then delete them. Now you want to make sure that you only have the plugins that you're using on your website. The more plugins you have, the slower your website's going to respond and function, and you're going to lose out on ranking. So make sure you have a lean setup, very few plugins, and then move on. As you can see right now, I'm just simply deleting some stuff that you don't need. If you want to, you could keep them, but obviously if you're just getting started, you don't need this other stuff. What's more important is the themes that we're going to talk about in just a moment, as well as getting writing. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete those, deactivate them, and then we're actually going to start moving on to settings, which you see right here. All right, so now that you've installed WordPress and you've got your WordPress theme on your web hosting and your domain name, and you've made the important changes, now it's important that you make those changes, because if you don't make those changes, it's going to be very difficult to get discovered organically. The next step is simply to install a premium WordPress theme. Now, what you got is a very basic theme that is very limited. This is a WordPress theme that has more features and functionality. And what we're going to do is we're going to go over to a website called themeforce.net. It is the second link in the description, and we can find premium WordPress themes. For example, if we just type in baking or cooking, you're going to see that there are WordPress themes that are made just for baking and cooking. You can get these for as little as $16 or as expensive as maybe $99, but go through, find a theme that you like, and then you're going to add it to the cart. Once you add it to the cart, you're going to check out and purchase it. After you click submit and the purchase is confirmed, you are going to get a zip drive. You are going to download that zip drive to your computer, and then you're going to unpack that zip drive. When you unpack that zip drive, there's going to be one more zip drive, and we're actually going to use that zip drive, and we are going to install it into the back office of our WordPress, and we're going to change the theme. And to do that, we're going to go to Appearance. We're going to click on Themes. When we click on Themes, we're going to click on Add New. And then when we click on Add New, we're going to click on Upload Theme. Here, you can drag and drop that second zip file we just got right here, or we can click on Choose File, and we can upload it that way. Once you upload it, click Install, and then click Activate, and your theme will be changed. Now, it's important that you do this in the beginning so that it doesn't have an impact on the formatting of your website. It's not going to have a huge impact, but it just can make things a little wonky, a little messed up in the beginning, and it's an additional frustration that you don't necessarily need. So if you can swing it, go ahead and get yourself a premium WordPress theme. Now that we have our theme installed, the next step is simply to start writing. And what we're going to do is we're going to click on Post here, and we are going to click on Add New, and we are going to write on keywords. Now we can go over here and let's say Holiday Baking Championship if we want to write on that. Maybe we wanted to write on the different types of sugar. For example, if we look at this, different types of sugar. As you can see, I want to point out a few things. This is the title, and this is the post name. This is exactly what I had you do in the previous step. This is designed so that you can get discovered organically through search engines. This is called search engine optimization. And simply what we're going to do, let's say we want to do types of sugar. We're just going to copy this. Now, obviously, you don't want to copy other people's work, but we're going to go over to our new post, and we are going to paste this here. And when we submit, when our web page or blog post goes live, it's going to be webhostingrewind.com/types of sugar. And simply what we need to do next is we just need to go ahead and start writing. And the two biggest questions that I always get are, how long should my blog post be? And how do I start writing? Now, how long should your blog post be? Really depends. It should only be as long as it needs to be. If you can answer a question in 200 words, use 200 words. But if it requires 4,000 words, it's going to require 4,000 words. One way to get an idea of the length of a blog post should be is look at what your competitors are doing. If your competitors are answering questions in 200 words, you want to make sure yours is a little bit more than that. For example, if we right click a word counter, this is 1,000 words. So you could use 1,500 words to answer this question. What you'd want to do is look at this and obviously not copy, figure out what they didn't answer. And one thing that you can do to help you write faster is to do the simple method that we learned in elementary. Who, what, when, where, why, and how. And so what we do, and what I like to do, is before I start writing complete sentences, I like to go through and I like to make bullet points of these questions, like who's going to be interested in this type of sugar? Who is interested in sugar? Who is this for? What are the types of sugar? When were these new types of sugars discovered? Where are they found? Where are they harvested? Where is sugar cane? These are all questions that you're going to ask yourself and write down so that you can help write your blog post better and faster. For example, and what I want to stress is that when you are in the brainstorming stage, it doesn't have to be perfect. Write down everything that you can think of, because it might actually spur a better question. And what you're going to do is, once you've taken 10 or 15 minutes to write out your questions, simply go through who is interested in sugar. You can turn this into an H2, a heading. This is an H1, types of sugar is an H1. This is an H2, and you're simply going to go through here and you're going to answer the question or solve the problem. You could say there are 3 types of people interested in sugar. And, one person may be a baker, one person may be a candlestick maker, maybe one person that's interested in fitness. And so when you do it this way, it's going to help you better answer the question and solve people's problems. That's the goal of this, is to simply solve other people's problems. If we jump back over to our slide deck here, we've covered the writing portion. Next, we want to learn how to make money, because this is one of the reasons why we create a blog, is to make money. And there are a number of ways to make money. As I showed you before, they had an ad on their website. This ad right here in the bottom right corner, the video ad, that's an ad where they're going to get paid if someone clicks or watches the video. And so there are tons of ad networks out there. If you're looking to get started right away, you can use Google AdSense. We jump over here. Google AdSense is going to pay you pennies on the dollar. You're not going to make a lot of money with Google AdSense, but you're going to start getting some money in. Now, once you get 1,000, 5,000, 10,000 page views per month, you can start working with premium ad networks. You can work with Ezoic or Mediavine.net or AdThrive, and they're going to pay you more money. So that's just one way to make money. Another way you can make money is simply with affiliate marketing. And with affiliate marketing, you can recommend or sell other people's products and services. And the way that it works is you can work with a company, let's say Amazon, and you can promote products that are relevant or congruent with your niche. For example, maybe there are premium pots and pans. You can promote stand mixers. Those pay out pretty good. And when someone clicks on your affiliate link and makes a purchase, you can earn a commission. And if you want to learn a little bit more about affiliate marketing, I do have a third link in the description to a free course where you can learn affiliate marketing step by step. So there is just a number of ways to make money. In addition to ads and affiliate marketing, you can sell your own digital or physical products. Maybe you have a cookbook that you want to sell. You can sell that right from your website. That just takes one or two more plugins. That's outside the scope of this video, but you can also sell your own physical and digital products. There's a lot of opportunities to make money online. Those are just 4. So let's jump back over to our slide deck. Now, the next step is you want to share your content on social media. The reason why you want to share your blog post, every single blog post on social media after you write it, is to help boost it in the search engines. In the very beginning, your blog post will not be seen by very many people because Google doesn't trust you yet. And to gain that trust, you can share it on relevant subreddits. You can share it in Facebook groups, on your Facebook profile, TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, Pinterest, you name it, you can share it there, and it will help your blog posts get discovered much faster. So I recommend that you go out there and you share it. Make sure you share it to relevant sites. If you are in the baking niche, don't promote your blog post to people that are interested in basket weaving. No one's going to read it. Anyway, the next question that I always get is about how many blog posts should I write? In my opinion, you should aim to start with 50 blog posts. Now, the reason why you want to start with 50, I know that may seem like a lot, but that's going to be a good indicator on if you're on the right track. That's going to help you write better. That's going to help you write faster. And it can help you write and rank with Google and some of the other search engines. Oftentimes people give up too soon. They think that their blog is a failure when in reality they just haven't written enough content. So 50 blog posts is a good metric to strive for. I recommend writing for 50 straight days or write 50 blog posts over the span of 100 days so that you can start gaining traffic. And be sure to check out the 3 links that I mentioned. First one is to get started with web hosting and Bluehost. You'll get that free domain. The second one is to get a premium WordPress theme with themeforest.net. And the third one is to learn about affiliate marketing for free. So be sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell to be notified when I upload my next video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.